Hey guys, it's me, Miss Long, and we are moving on to A to Z Mysteries, and we're in Grand Canyon Grab, and we're moving on to Chapter 2 today. So Chapter 2 just has a lot of pages with words on it, and it's got a couple pages with a picture, so I thought about trying to film it from this view and see if this does us better. The lobby of Bright Angel Lodge was busy and noisy. Guests were checking in and out. Hikers with backpacks stood around, drinking from water bottles and texting on cell phones. Dink spotted his uncle talking to a tall man in shorts and a red shirt. The man's brown hair was tied in a ponytail. Uncle Warren waved, and all three kids hurried over. "Kids, this is Randy Kane, your pilot," Uncle Warren said. "Ready to go up?" "We're ready," Dink told his uncle. The kids all shook hands with Randy. Ding! "Does a balloon really go up a mile?" Josh asked. Randy shook his head. "Not today," he said. "We'll only be up about 3,000 feet. "That's still pretty high, isn't it?" Josh asked. "It's a little more than half a mile," Randy said. He smiled at Josh. "Are you afraid of heights, buddy?" Josh gulped. "I'm just a little nervous," he admitted. "Actually, I'm pretty nervous too," Ruth Rose said. She nudged Dink and gave him a look. "Yeah, I'm nervous too," Dink said, catching on. "I've never been in a hot air balloon before." Uncle Warren patted Josh's shoulder, "And I'm the most nervous because I'm the oldest." "I was plenty scared my first time too," Randy said. "Let's get going and I'll give you a balloon lesson while we drive." They followed Randy outside where it was sunny and mild. Dink stepped over a puddle near the lodge door. "Thanks, you guys," Josh whispered. "No problem," Dink said. "We can't let you be nervous all by yourself." Randy's van was sky blue. Both sides had been painted with pictures of hot air balloons floating in the clouds. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose slid into the seats behind Randy and Dink's uncle. They all clicked their seatbelts. Randy drove out of the parking lot and headed away from the lodge. "The balloon itself is just a giant bag," he began. "We call it the envelope, and it's made of a real strong nylon. My balloon is shaped like an upside-down teardrop with an opening at the bottom called the mouth. You'll be riding in a basket that hangs beneath the balloon. We're sitting in a basket half a mile up in the sky," Josh moaned. "These are special baskets, my friend," Randy said. "They're made with super strong steel, very safe." "It must be a big basket to fit all 5 of us," Uncle Warren commented. Randy nodded. "Mine will hold us comfortably," he said, "but I've seen other baskets that carry 8 people or more." "How do you make the balloon go up?" Dink asked. "We fill it with hot air," Randy said. "Hot air is lighter than the air that surrounds the envelope. The balloon rises." "Where do you get the hot air?" Josh asked. "Great question," Randy said. "First, I use a big fan to blow air into the envelope. Then I turn on my burner, which makes flames that heat the air. As the air gets warmer, the balloon floats up." Randy pulled off the main road onto a bumpy one. He steered his van across a broad field of grass, wildflowers in the distance. The kids could see more hot air balloons. Some were in the air with their baskets still on the ground. Other balloons were being filled with air by huge fans. The generators that operated the fans created a loud roar. Randy parked next to a yellow balloon with blue stripes. Everyone climbed out of the van and stood near the balloon. The basket was on the ground, tied to wooden stakes. The envelope was already filled with air. "This is mine," Randy said. He pulled a set of folding steps from inside the basket and set it on the ground. Then he helped Uncle Warren and the kids climb aboard. Uncle Warren snapped pictures of the other balloons. They were standing in a square basket about 10 feet on each side. The sides came to Dink's chin, so nobody could fall out. Dink saw a coil of rope, a white food cooler, a toolbox, and a lumpy duffel bag. Tall metal tanks with propane gas stenciled on the surface stood against one side of the basket. Lying near the tanks was a rolled-up rug. Randy's head appeared over the edge of the basket. "You folks all ready?" he asked. "I guess so," Josh said. Randy untied the cables from the stakes, quickly scrambled into the basket, and removed the steps. He yanked a valve on the burner, and the flames shot up into the balloon's mouth. "Hang on to the sides," Randy shouted over the noise of the burner. "There are hats in that duffel if your ears get cold." The balloon began to float up. Dink looked over the side and watched the basket leave the ground. They rose higher and higher. Things below them grew smaller. Other balloons were in the sky around them. Some of the passengers waved to each other. "This is so exciting," Dink's uncle said. "I didn't think there would be so many other balloons." "There are thousands in the sky on a nice day," Randy said. "3 of my best friends own balloon companies." "How are you feeling?" Dink asked Josh. "I'm not sick yet," Josh said. Dink grinned. "Good. If you need to throw up, do it over the side." The 3 kids were thrilled to see birds flying past their balloon. Other balloons floated above and below them. Randy pulled on ropes that hung from the sides. "I'm opening vents to release a little hot air," he explained. "That lets me turn the balloon so you can see stuff all around us." "Hey, there's the Grand Canyon," Josh yelled. Ding! So here we got some pictures. "Yep, we're only a mile from the south rim," Randy said. The kids looked over the sides of the basket below them. The ground looked like a brown, green, and yellow patchwork quilt. Cars and trucks moved around like bugs. It got cold, so Uncle Warren pulled ski hats from the duffel bag. "See that red balloon?" Randy yelled, pointing over Dink's head. "That's my buddy Miguel. He has 2 passengers today. One of them is a kid a little older than you guys. When we stop for lunch, maybe you can say howdy." "Where are we going for lunch?" Josh asked. "I'm taking us to Blue Meadow for a picnic," Randy said. "Real pretty place. Most of the balloon pilots stop there." Ruth Rose trained her binoculars on the red balloon in the distance. At first, she saw only blue sky around it, but then she spotted the basket. She saw 2 men and a kid. "Oh my gosh," she yelled. "What?" Dink asked. "You're not going to believe who's in that basket," Ruth Rose said. "Who?" Josh asked. Ruth Rose handed him the binoculars. "Who do you think it is?" she asked. Josh peered through the glasses. "Jumping jackrabbits," he said. "Is it a rabbit?" Dink teased Josh. Josh passed the binoculars to Dink. "Take a peek, Zeke," he said. Dink looked, aiming the binoculars at the red balloon. "It's Roger Good!" he cried. Okay, so that's the end of our 2nd chapter, and we'll be moving on to chapter 3 tomorrow.